Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the Masters of the Universe Revelation Fisto, part of the Masterverse series. Fisto is such a great character, and I love seeing a little bit of the variety that they're giving us in the Masterverse line with these characters as they appeared in the Masterverse series. So let's dive in and get this guy out of his packaging and take a closer look at him. So we've got Fisto here, bringing in the tape measure. You can see that he stands just a little shy of 7 inches tall. So it is a 7-inch scale line, but he does measure up with the rest of the figures within this lineup so far. He is based on the way he appeared in part 2 of Revelation, and honestly, I really like the look of this guy. Definitely has a bit of that animated flair to him, but still very much looks like that classic Fisto that we all know and love. So he is rocking that classic style armor there. The silver is very metallic. Like, I love the shine that they got there. It's a really, really good sheen. We got a nice flat dark purple underneath that. The armor is kind of that softer armor we see on a lot of the figures these days. It can be removed just like that, and you can see it just has the exact same He-Man torso underneath, so, you know, following suit with what Masters of the Universe typically does with their action figures and sharing the bucks there. A lot of the other pieces are reused as well. He does have the longer loincloth piece. He's got the big furry boots here. So these boots and all of this do seem to be the exact same ones we've seen on figures like He-Man and I think even Man-at-Arms. So they're kind of reusing that across the board, just like in the vintage Masters of the Universe line. But you know what? It all works out really well. And the head sculpt on this guy is really nice. He's got a bit of a flared look to his beard and his hair, but it's that nice kind of orangish red color there. Really good stern look on his face. I like that quite a bit there. And of course, we've got his signature fist. Now, this is really interesting and wasn't something that I was expecting, but the fist, at least the actual hand part of it there, is die-cast metal. I was really surprised by that. I didn't realize that till I opened this up. Now, a few things I want to point out with that. First of all, you can see that it still articulates, which is pretty cool. So you can swivel the actual fist and the entire metal arm itself there. It's really interesting that they worked it that way, but I guess that'll be good for some of the posing. But since the actual hand part is the only part that's die-cast metal, you can see that there is a little bit of a difference in the colors of silver there. So this is like painted plastic versus the silver die-cast metal. Also, the details are just a little soft on the fingers and everything because of it being metal, but those are very, very minor gripes because this is the first time we've ever had Fisto's fist actually have some weight to it like that, actually be metal. So that is really, really fun. I think that's just neat that they went out of their way to do something like that. Now, Fisto does come with some interchangeable parts, only for his left hand, so you can swap off his gripping hand, and you can give him another closed fist if you want to do that, although that compared to his metal fist is pretty puny, so I don't know why he would do that. But then we've also got the big open hand, which I find to be totally pointless. Not a big fan of that hand in general. So gripping hand works best for me, but it's cool that we still got that option. Now, you can't take off the metal hand, of course. That one is actually meant to stay on the figure. So, of course, the articulation is going to follow suit with He-Man and the other figures since he's basically using the exact same body, but head is on a ball joint there. Arms can go outwards, forwards, backwards, swivel at the bicep, double joints at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, hinge at the wrist. The torso rolls around. You can also swivel the waist. Legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards, swivel at the thigh. Double joints in the knees, which are very, very tight, like they've been on all these figures. You got swivel at the boot cut, and then the ankles can go up and down and rock side to side. All in all, the articulation feels pretty sturdy on this guy. Boots are a little loose, but not as bad as I've seen on some of the other figures, so he feels pretty solid and sturdy all the way through and through. And, of course, additional accessory, we've got the classic Fisto sword. This is really nice because it looks a lot like the sword that came with the vintage toy. However, they painted the blade and the top part of the hilt in that same metallic silver that they used on his armor. So it looks really, really nice. I think that is very cool. You can use the gripping hand to hold it. It's a bit loose in the hand. One of the things I will say is I wish that he had a much tighter grip on that sword because it's a little floppy in his hand there. But otherwise, this is super solid. I really like this guy. All right, my friends, it is comparison time. Let's go ahead and take a look at Fisto alongside all of the other Fisto figures that have been released over the years, including vintage, including the 2000X version, the Masters of the Universe Classics version, which is one of my all-time favorite figures from that line, and the Origins version. You can see he's pretty much maintained that same look throughout the years, just with some small differences, but it's always cool to see them all lined up side by side. And there you go, my friends. That is a look at the Masterverse Fisto as he appeared in the Revelation series. I really like this figure. I really, really do. I know that I've probably seemed a bit down on the Masterverse line in general throughout my reviews. I do still have some of the same similar complaints with the figures kind of feeling weirdly proportioned. They're a bit taller and lankier, but I don't know. Fisto here is pretty rad. I think this guy is the standout in the Masterverse line so far. He's definitely my personal favorite. So I believe Fisto is part of the third wave of Masterverse action figures, which are hitting store shelves right now, but I picked mine up through Big Bad Toy Store. So happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.